This is a real job. This is not just coming to work and having fun, shooting little toy guns and stuff, which people think that we always do. That people think that we just come to play, but no, this is a real job.
It's a chess match. Whatever you bring to the table, we're going to give you the next best move. And then we're going to keep playing until the person with the best hand wins. So they could have the numbers all day. We have the tactics, we have the knowledge, the problem-solving ability, and we have the tools to get it done.
You could have been STL Lozano.
Could have.
Damn.
I could have. But now I'm Johnny Charisma. All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of A-Town Talk, the _1 podcast in Anthony, Texas, and the only one.
The only one.
We're the only podcast. Today, guys, we are with the S.O.R.T team from Doña County. These guys are the ones that are in charge of responding to pretty much like any high-risk situation inside the facilities. Some real badass guys here with us today. We have a whole bunch of them. We're going to start with Mr. Willie on the far end over here. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
All right, my name is Willie, Coronado, sergeant here at the DC. Well, been on the tactical team for about 7 years. In the facility, going on 13 years. I'm a sergeant for the facility. I'm a team leader for the Special Operation Response Team, which means we're certified in... Time out.
I'm sorry.
Take three.
Take three.
Best speech ever.
My bad.
What, all his nerves are gone already?
This is why I wanted to take over A-Town.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Dude, I'm fucking sleep deprived, man. I haven't been sleeping. Sorry, Willie. Go on, man.
You're good. For the beginning?
Yeah. Let's just do it.
Go for the beginning. Take motherfucking 3. All right, I've been employed for the Doña Detention Center for approximately 13 years. I hold the rank of a sergeant for the facility. I'm a team leader for the tactical team. Been on that team for 7 years, going on 7 years. Certified in hostage rescue, active shooter, pod dominations, high-risk escorts, anything you could think of when it comes to a correctional setting. Basically, we're just the SWAT team for correction, like you said, right? I have a master instructor in E-band. I'm a range instructor for pistol, rifle, shotgun. I'm an ALS instructor, taser instructor. Basically, all the goods when it pertains to using force. That's what we're certified in for the most part.
Oh, yeah. That's what I wanted to do the first time, and I hit the wrong button. All right, up next, who we got?
Take 2.
Take 2.
Sergeant Luis Ruiz, and I've been employed here at the detention center 15 years. I've been on the tactical team 7 years. I'm one of the instructors on the team, ALS instructor. I'm also part of the STIU, that's the Security Threat Intelligence Unit, so that kind of goes hand in hand with the team. So we get some intel, we use the team, and we go and we make entry, get the contraband, any information we get, like on drugs, weapons, and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Nice. Lieutenant Ruben Salceo. I've been here for, come November, it'll be 23 years. Currently in command of the S.O.R.T team. These are my guys. We've all been in the team, the same amount of time. So we all went through the training together, and these are my team leaders. My STL is your brother, Lozano, and the other guys are the team leaders. But I've been here for a good while, man. I've been in a couple of the other teams coming up through. It's different, man. A lot of things have changed, but it changed for the better, I think, for us here in the facility anyways. I have a couple of instructor certifications, too. Firearms in particular, master instructor in control force, which would be like a defensive tactics for us here in the detention center. And that's about it for now, because I like to keep focus on a couple of them. Like too many is sometimes too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And I didn't introduce our Chencha co-host. She's back today.
Co-host.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then we got man, this has been a long time coming, man. For those of you who keep track of A-Town, maybe even follow us on the social media page. A couple of weeks ago, there was a very ballsy post on there. A certain someone tried to take over my spot. A certain someone is my brother.
Yeah. Run up the clip.
Run the clip. Yeah, Lieutenant Lozano, STL Lozano. You finally made it to the pod, bro.
Yeah, I know, man. It's been a while since I've been wanting to be in Johnny Charisma's pod, but he doesn't want me on it, so this is the only way I was able to pull it off. But I'm Lieutenant Lozano. I've been here at the Doña County Detention Center for 21 years, going on 22 now. I'm the senior team leader of the team, the second in command from boss over here. Like Commander said, we've been on the team all together since the get-go. We started this team, and right now we're the instructors. Yeah, man. Like, I don't have as much titles as Willie does, but I'm one of the instructors here, lieutenant on the floor. I've been instructor for Taser, ALS, the less lethal, pepper ball instructor. I mean, you name it. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, dude.
And future A-Town Talk main host.
We'll see. We'll see about that.
Main-
We'll see about that.
Lieutenant Lozano, or
Wait, whoa.
Someone's nervous.
Lieutenant Montelongo, and I am very camera shy. I've been at the facility for 18 years. Started as an officer, moved into sergeant. Now I'm a lieutenant. Instructor for the team as well. ALS certified instructor, and just a lieutenant. Been here for a while.
He's good at basketball.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Can you dunk?
No,
No, he's not.
wish I
He's
could.
not that good at that.
I don't have
I'm
no-
just kidding.
I don't have hops. Pretty sure I could take you. All right. I know someone else who could take you.
He's a hunter.
He's a hunter.
Yeah. He's a team's hunter.
One of my main hobbies is going out hunting. Done it for a while. Now I'm also integrating my kids, so it's something that I really enjoy.
That's pretty cool, man. What was your latest hunt?
Deer.
Deer?
Deer, yeah. We actually harvested a deer, and my son took a shot at a deer. He missed. He still needs more practice, but he's getting there too, so it's cool.
That's what's
One of
up.
my passions that I like to do.
I went deer hunting one time with some homies, and we didn't catch shit. We just got drunk.
Caught an angle. I did that with Willie.
That sounds like me and Montelongo. Went out there, we just hugged each other, we got fucked up. That's it.
Yeah.
Actually, one of my buddies did get an armadillo, but
What happens during hunting stays during
Yeah.
We won't talk much about it.
all types of stories.
All right, yeah.
One day we will all go hunting together.
all right. And last but not least, who do we got?
I'm team leader Helco Ortega. I'm a lieutenant here at the facility. My resume is really weak. I've been in corrections detention for 24 years. Done it pretty much all. I've been part of the SJU unit, just like Sergeant Reese. I can go through my search too, but my resume is pretty weak, man. So.
Yeah, but
Just-
those arms though,
They not.
they not weak.
He's got the biggest biceps in the team.
Yeah.
No way.
No, yeah. No doubt.
No doubt.
No doubt. Not
They
just.
slow down in the Red Bull.
I need
So
it.
so Willie's the strongest in the team, maybe in the whole facility.
Yeah.
Willie can bench
A lot.
a lot. But Elko has the nicest arms.
100%.
100%. we started making rumors that he had implants. And that shit went around quick. like we literally said it to one person, Ramos, Lieutenant Ramos. And like 2 minutes later, shout out to Lieutenant Ramos. 2 minutes later, Alp was in here like, hey, you guys, why are you guys telling people I have implants? I'm all, bro, that was quick. I was like, we just said it like 2 minutes ago. Crazy.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. And thank you guys for yesterday. This is our second day shooting with you guys. Yesterday, we were at one of your guys' training facilities, or the training range. You guys ran us through some drills. And we'll get a little bit into that. But I wanted to kind of dive into a little bit more about what the S.O.R.T team exactly is and kind of like your day-to-day. What does that look like for you guys? And I don't know who wants to take this one up. Anybody?
Commander.
So like we were talking about earlier, we're basically like SWAT within the facility.
Mm-hmm.
That's our main point of operation, is inside the facility. But these guys, day-to-day basis, I mean, they come in and they do the same job as all the officers do in the back, depending on their rank. The sergeants do their sergeant job. The lieutenants do their lieutenant job. If something happens above maybe what the regular officers, I don't want to say regular officers, basically like on a regular incident, it's not a regular incident.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little more maybe intense, or maybe there's weapons involved, or there's multiple people involved. These guys are here on the floor on shift. They're split up throughout the shift. So then the lieutenants themselves have the ability to say, I'm going to have to use these guys to take care of this situation. Mm-hmm. So that's what they're here for. We're basically here for the facility to take care of anything crazy that happens. As I was telling you yesterday as well, we're utilized not too much, but if there's a high-risk transport, a high-profile detainee in our custody and they have to go outside of the facility, they'll usually task us with putting a team together and then taking them out to transport, just for the safety aspect, just because these guys have been trained to deal with situations, as you guys saw yesterday, some of the drills we were preparing for and some of the stress levels that we were putting the guys through so they could, think through the situations and handle it best that they can. So basically, that's in a nutshell. That's what we do here. Like I said, we're here for the facility, to protect our brothers and sisters, to protect our facility, and I mean, that's about it, huh, guys?
Yeah.
Unless I missed something, right?
So
Go ahead.
So pretty much, I don't know, like you see on TV and stuff like that. Our tactics have evolved over the years. Tactical teams in jail system and prison system, they have evolved over the years. If you see on movies and TV is your usual, what's it called? Stomp and
Stomp and drag.
Stomp and drag. They come in with shields, helmets, and sticks, and then they're stomping. Like Elko used to do in Southern back in the 80s.
Shout out to Southern.
Shout out to Southern.
Shout out to them.
Big shout out, yeah.
Big shout out to Southern. So pretty much our tactics have evolved, and then the way we train it's a little different than that nowadays. We use different weapon systems now, launchers. Like we use a lot of less lethal, which is your bean bags, rubber slugs, and stuff like that. Our tactics just in general just are so different now. It's so different now. We kind of implemented a little bit of what the actual SWAT teams use out there in the streets, and then we kind of made it into our own and kind of implemented into the facility in our own ways. So yeah, we're a little bit more advanced than your usual old school stump and drag team. So
Yeah.
Speaking of like SWAT, you've been certified with the SWAT team.
yeah, they do basic SWAT school like every year, and then we get the invite just like any other facilities. They invite several people. Montelongo has gone. Several of us from the team have gone, and you can get that certification, SWAT certification, for basic SWAT school. Okay, it's probably not their whole training they do because it's a lot. It's a lot. Like you have to probably go through months and months with it, but it's just a week certification, and we did basic and advanced. Yeah.
And you guys were talking about like doing those transports, those high risk transports. You you would have to involve other agencies as well, right?
Sometimes it depends. We're capable to handle high risk transports. We have enough people on the team to set up a large scale high risk transport. But at times, some of the other facilities might call us and say, "Hey, we need to transport this guy to our facility. We'll pick him up, but maybe we can get some of your guys to chase and to go ahead in the advance and things like that." So they're aware that we are here and that we're trained that way. So I was telling you yesterday that's a feel good feeling. You know what I mean? To know that somebody could reach out to me and say, "Hey, I need your guys because this is happening." You know, that's pretty good. That's how well they've trained, and that's the reputation they've built for themselves. That they're up on this level where somebody else would ask them for assistance. So and that's pretty cool. And you know, like STL was saying earlier, the training has evolved throughout the years. I was part of a stomp and drag team when I first started here. Right, I jumped into the team a year after my probation. I saw some big dudes, man, big guys like Big Will, like Montelongo right there. And I was like, man, I want to be like those guys. And I was like, there's no way I'm ever going to be that tall. So I had to do good, use my brain, you know what I mean? Think good and then work tactically, man. But yeah, I mean, in the stomp and drag, I was always in the back of the stack, you know, because there's a small dude, right? They put the big guys up front like Will to, you know, get these guys down. But, you know, those tactics still work, and thank God we have a great administration that backs us up and allows us to do these things. Like I'm pretty sure 100%, and Alco Tel Ortega could probably vouch for me that other facilities, like even like Southern, would probably be like, man, we'd probably rather do what you guys do, but it's all about who's going to back them with those things. You know what I mean? I'm sure a lot of people would like to jump on the new technology and the advancement, and it's coming little by little. You could tell. People they're starting to, you know, facilities are starting to recognize it and be like, hey, like that's cool. Like these advancements are coming, and you know, their guys don't really get hurt anymore. Like five big grown men jumping in there, somebody gets hurt, man. Like every time we did that, like somebody had my arm. I'm like, it's my arm, guys. Like it hurts. Let it go. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy. Like it's chaotic. You know what I mean? The cells are probably no bigger, wider than these tables that we have put up here together, you know what I mean? And that's the space you got to work in. And then you can figure, you know, a big man like Will, you like come in and get me, and then the rest of us going in to get him, like someone's probably going to get hurt, right? So we've changed our tactics up a little bit to utilize our weapon systems and our less lethal munitions that we probably don't get hurt, and minimize the hurt to the actual people, the detainees or something like that. That's causing a disturbance.
Yeah, go in with more precision and tactics rather than like brute force.
Yes.
Like that.
Yeah.
So pretty much our tactics now, it's they come to us, we don't go to them anymore. You know, like because our training, our tactics are like our bread and butter from the facilities, like cell extractions and
Pod
dominations. Okay, so like riots, whatever, any kind of uprising, we go in there and pod dominate, and then we do a cell extractions, and then because our training is cut up in two parts. Tier 2, which is that, and then Tier 1, it's the most advanced, which is already like hostage rescue, active shooter, high risk transport, and I mean these guys can tell you more about that.
Yeah.
What's the craziest situation you guys had to deal with?
I'll let Willie and Reese talk about that.
Yeah.
Let this guy go first. He's been quiet this whole time.
So craziest thing is responding to. We've had 3 riots that we had throughout the time that we've been on the team. First one was actually, it was one of the day rooms that was refusing to lock down. That one wasn't too crazy. They pretty much, when we got there, and I mean the craziest thing is we had barely made the team, and we didn't really know exactly like how to deal with the situation just yet. We had the training, but then one thing is getting the training, but then now we had to apply it and go live. So it's kind of a different aspect when you're responding that. So that one we went in there, we secured the day room, nothing too crazy.
And these day rooms, how big are they, and how many inmates are there in these day rooms?
How big would you say, Commander? Like,
I couldn't off the top of my head square footage, but sometimes there's up in numbers about 30, maybe 30 to 40 in there, depending on it. the day room in the facility. The largest day rooms in the facility are probably our Fed unit, and there is probably up to maybe close to 60, 70 maybe people in there at a time, depending on how many, I guess, federal detainees we're willing to accept at the time. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, so you guys going into like a riot or anything like that, you're definitely going in outnumbered, right?
Yes.
Yes.
But not outgunned, for sure.
No, for sure.
We definitely have the resources.
We have the resources.
That's what helps us out a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was one of the first ones, kind of gave us an idea what it is. Then in 2020, I think it was, I believe that was the second one that we had. And I was the one on shift. That was my first one that I actually had to lead. It was me and Tio Coronado. That one, I mean, nobody got hurt. We handled it, but we learned a lot. We learned a lot of the better ways of taking full control of it, because when that happens, you have you have the S.O.R.T team, and then you have shift supervisors, and then the floor officers, and it was chaotic. And we didn't have the full control where we had everybody like lying like, hey, this is what you guys stage, this is what we're gonna do, and taking full control. So that was our second one. Said same thing. We ended up giving up, and we secured them. Took a little longer. So then a year after that, literally a year right after that one, we had another one, same day room, same inmates, and those are our max inmates that we had. And we did a shakedown, and they got mad. They refused the lockdown. Then they started getting weapons. They broke one of the pod windows, but it has a plexiglass, so they can't get it in all the way. So it was me and Tio Coronado were on shift, and that from the one prior to that, we didn't have a crash box where we had our multi-bags, vapor grenades.
What's a crash box?
It's pretty much we have a box that we have in our armory where we have more rounds, the vapor grenades, multi-bangs, and those are distraction rounds. And Hornet Nest, it's also another one of our rounds where it's kind of like a little grenade, you throw it in there, and then like little pellets go out so you could disperse everybody back.
Okay.
So we didn't have that the second time, and obviously we learned that we needed access to that. So Tio Ortega made a little crash box for us that we have access to. So if anything like that happens, and we could go in and have access to it. And that's one thing that we didn't have the second time. So yeah, that's kind of what kind of prolonged a lot of the things. So it was me and Tio Coronado, and we learned a lot. I was like, hey, that's it. It's me and you. We're taking full control of it. I told the lieutenant, I'm like, hey, call Commander Salceo, let him know, get the team over here in case we need them. And I told him, we're not going to use the team. We're gonna take control.
He literally punched me in the chest. And he was like, we're calling the team just to get our asses out of there. We get stuck. Let's go to work.
Bro, so they just woke me up, and I was like 2 minutes from my house, and then they called me, we don't need you. So
Yeah. True statement, man. Kudos to these two guys, bro. They did call me in. I believe it was Lieutenant Puente. Lieutenant Puente. Hoa Puente. Sup, dudes?
Shout out
to Sup, dudes.
Puente.
And he called me and he said, hey, T.L. Reese told me to call you and let you know that they're rioting in the day room. And I said, where? And he said, in Fox, which is our max. And I said, okay. I was like, what else did he say? Because I already know these guys. So Traviesos, look at them. They're on this side, around this side of the table. And I said, what else did he say? And then he said to get the rest of the team, but they probably won't need you guys. That's what he said. He said, get the rest of the team, but they probably won't need you guys. I said, so, okay, cool. So I'll call everybody. So I did call. I called the guys. Like I said, they're on shift, so they could deal with it immediately as something's happening. Even if it's one person, they deal with it immediately. They can contain, and everybody starts filtering in slowly, right? Because you think about it, if we're not here or somebody's not here, and I just call everybody, and it takes at least a good hour 30 minutes for us to get here, and then to see what's going on, and then to come up with a plan on the fly, and then to execute, So a lot of stuff happens within that time, man, especially if they're rioting. Yeah. Especially if someone's getting hurt. A lot of bad things can happen. So it's a good plus to have these guys here.
How many team members do you guys have in total?
18 in total right now.
18. But then obviously they're not all on shift at the same time. They're spread out.
No, they're spread out. Some more on shifts than other, but I mean, normally too, right? They work a lot of overtime, so there's always some overlap. Somebody's always here.
So for situations like that, how many of you responded to that, right?
So
Everybody did.
we all of us eventually got here.
Eventually,
Eventually,
everybody got
but like
here.
that initial,
Just me and him.
just both of you.
Yeah.
It was just both of us.
We had the floor staff with us too, though, to help us.
Okay.
Out.
Yeah, the floor staff, like I said earlier, like I know they're here too, and they tremendously help us out big time with things. Some of them have trained with us before, and some of them have been on shift with them as well. So they look, they watch, they learn, and they know. I know TL Reese is going to need this. I know TL Coronado is going to need that. So I mean, like we say, kudos to them too. We always give them thanks. We always give them the props for helping us out. But they did they did really, really well. We did show up. Yeah, we did show up, and all that was left was cleanup, if you want to say, right? It's like, what do you guys need? They're like, we just need to get these guys searched down, start looking for weapons, start searching cells, things like that. So everybody that came in, they were just filtering in. That's exactly why we called this team. We're like, we don't need you to come in. Like, we're already on the cleanup phase. Like, these guys handled it. Two of them, these two guys handled it. So that's pretty good in my book, man.
That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of this team, that two operators can handle a situation of that magnitude.
Well, there was a recent trend on social media where there was like one gorilla versus 100 men. And I think there's a bigger question here. Like, how many inmates versus one Willie?
Man.
Not enough, right?
The
Willie?
world
I don't
will
think
never
there's
know.
enough.
Not enough.
The
Not enough
world
for
will
Willie.
never know.
What was what's your story behind that, Willie? What's going through your head when you get that call, man?
Well, shit. It's just go time. It's just go time, right? So let's go back to the first incident, right? First incident took place. We didn't have the confidence, right? We're a brand new team. We know the training, right? But the confidence isn't there. Without the confidence to be able to handle any incident of that
Magnitude.
that magnitude, you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna sit there and second guess ourselves, right? We go to that first one, we had our second one, now we're at this third one, right? This mass disturbance. Now we have the confidence, we have the training. We've been instructors for the team for so long, right? Me and him know what to do. He doesn't even got to talk to me, we don't got to communicate. I know his every move because I know his position, he knows my position, right? We just knew from the first time what didn't take place, the second time it didn't take place, how to make it run smoothly, right? Which was getting with the staff, making sure we're all on the same page, making sure we have the team to come get our asses out if we get stuck in there, right? And that confidence that came with it, right? We resorted to training. At the end of the day, when adrenaline kicks in, that's the only thing that can't leave. If we lose that, then everything goes to shit. So we focus on that all the time. We talk about it all the time, right? We have to resort to training. So we kept ourselves in a position that was advantageous for us to deal with that situation. But it was shitty. It was scary. You know what I mean? I can't lie. Anybody that says they don't have no fear or anything like that, man, they're probably not in the right place anymore. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Up here at least, you know? And shit. You got to think, right? But me, I trust him to my fullest. I know these guys are going to get there no matter what happens to us. They're going to get us out, man. So it's go time. Let's go. Let's play. Let's play, right? It's a chess game, right?
Yeah.
We're the colonels. It's a chess match. Whatever you bring to the table, we're going to give you the next best move. And then we're going to keep playing until the person with the best hand wins. So they could have the numbers all day. We have the tactics, we have the knowledge, the problem-solving ability, and we have the tools to get it done. So as we got them, took care of it effectively, man. All these guys basically did was come up, clean the house up. You know what I mean?
So we talked about the training. I don't know if you guys want to walk us through a little bit of what we did yesterday, and then maybe we can get some perspective from Chena, because you recently graduated from boot camp as well.
I did.
And we did some training yesterday. Maybe let's do a little comparison of that. But who wants to walk us through what we did yesterday first?
So yesterday, when you guys showed up, we geared you guys up with some weapon, right? What we were doing at the time that you guys showed up is I was running the operators through some weapon manipulation, firing drills, and reload drills is what we were running them through when you guys showed up. But basically what we did when you guys showed up is we geared you up. We gave you a really quick crash course on weapon safety, which you guys have probably at some point heard those weapons safety rules. And then we put you guys on the line. We gave you a little brief about what was going to happen on the line, how the line was going to work. And then
I got bit by ants.
you got attacked by red ants. That's crazy. Yeah,
Tactical ant.
those are the tactical ants. They're all over you.
I'm there standing in line, And then I'm just, I'm ready. And then I start feeling a tingling. I'm like, I don't think that's adrenaline. I think that's fucking ants right there.
Yeah.
Today we're gonna unofficially make you a S.O.R.T operator for one day.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? So we're gonna give you your rig, your little vest, protection vest, bulletproof vest, and then we're setting up a Alexa over here, also with her gear. Okay, just follow instructions from our team leader Coronado and Commander Salceo. America. She's going to Iran, possibly.
Oh, that's me. I'll go with you.
I just don't want to do something stupid in front of these guys. Does this make my bulge?
There's a big old ant on you, Johnny.
Where?
It's about to get on your beard. I'm gonna flick it.
I just got bit. One bit me on the inside.
I know it.
There's one on behind you.
And I'm not your dad right here. I'm your STL, okay?
Yes, sir.
And then basically what we did is run you guys through some basic drills. It was a little bit more advanced than a basic course like we had talked about yesterday. A basic course for like my cadets or somebody that has never shot before is about a week long for us. At best, if we want to probably cut it down, it's maybe 3 days at the most, right? Mm-hmm. But we ran you guys through a quick crash course, and then we had you guys shooting, reloading, switching from your primary weapon, which was your AR-15, to your secondary weapon, which is your handgun. And we started doing some drills on you guys. Just saw that they advanced, right? We're good. Like normal drills like that. Me and Will TL Coronado will put all the guys on the line. Mm-hmm. Whether they're great shots or not, everybody here on this table is a great shot, man. Just us pushing them, me and Will pushing them right direction, giving them some pointers, but them themselves have practiced and polished their skills, so they're phenomenal shooters now. But not everybody is, right? So we get everybody out there in the morning, we kind of warm them up, we get them dialed in, and then we'll start to moving and shooting. We'll start doing multiple targets, multiple threats. We'll amp them up a little bit, kind of like you saw, amping them up a little bit, having them run a little bit to simulate like there's some adrenaline going on, right? That is the only thing that we could do aside from shooting rounds towards them to kind of get their heart rate up, to kind of get their adrenaline going, kind of get this little like whole what's going on factor in them, right? And basically that's what we did, man. And you guys got a little taste of it, like we said. It was pretty crazy. We kept yelling at you guys, hitting you guys on the back to reload your weapons. Right? We knew you didn't even have rounds. We were like, reload, Johnny, Johnny, reload. Johnny's like, I'm out.
And that's one of the things that we teach these guys a lot, to work under pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we, like Commander, so you guys got a little taste of it, but when these guys go through training, we put them through a lot of stress, a lot of pressure, because in a real life situation, that's how it's gonna be. Your adrenaline's gonna be up here. So what we teach these guys is like not to stay up there. Like so at some point, sometimes you gotta learn how to pump the brakes, take the deep breath. We call it tactical pause, and then think before you act. Okay, so I don't know what you guys want to add to that.
We also did some shield work.
Yeah, we did some shield work.
I'm still sore from that.
Yeah.
That was what we learned from SWAT school.
That was actually cool, man. That was that shield in particular is the first time that I've shot with that shield. Before it was a massive shield. It covered 90% of my body. It was a regular size shield.
That's about 50% of my body.
So yeah, I was about to say it's 50% of Montelongo's body, but it was a regular size shield. But my body size is not regular, so it covered most of my body.
Shout out to Dasso, SWAT.
Yeah,
they hooked us up with some of those
shields and
some other training.
The trainings, yeah.
Commander Medina, they're people. Yeah. They're good people there, man.
But yeah, man, it was good. You guys did well for it being really fast and for it being some advanced tactics. So we'll be waiting for your guys' applications. And,
we'll get into the process right now. Of
your brother's gonna retire, so he'll take over A-Town Talk, and then you'll come
switch.
with us. Yeah, switch roles,
Bro, the crazy thing, I'm gonna expose you right now.
Expose me.
The crazy thing is my brother has a criminal justice degree.
Yeah.
Okay. His original his original thoughts was that he wanted to go with the U.S. Marshals, right? He wanted to get into law enforcement, and somehow down the line it changed. Now he's all into videography and stuff. So
Yeah,
Such,
I do
such
have
is
that
the life,
background.
huh?
Yeah, I did an internship when I was in college with the Marshals. For a semester, like 3 months or so. It was pretty cool. They did run us through. Went to the range and they shot us. They taught us how to shoot. We did pistol, AR, and shotgun. So they taught us like tactical reloads with the shotgun. I don't remember, man. I haven't practiced it, so
Yeah.
But we went through a lot of stuff, so I do have some experience. And then, I mean, with my brother working corrections for the past 20 some years, like I know a lot of the ins and outs of it. I also have a lot of friends that were in corrections. They moved on to other things, but yeah, that for a while, like law enforcement, that was kind of like the path that I was looking at. And then I don't know, something changed eventually where I was like, nah, this ain't for me. Like, I don't think
you
I don't
could have
think
been STL Lozano.
could have.
Damn.
I could have, but now I'm Johnny Charisma. What about you, Chencha? You recently finished boot camp a couple months ago. What's that? And you're also pursuing
Criminal justice.
criminal justice,
Yes.
right? Don't do it.
Yes.
Don't do it. Just kidding.
Don't do it.
Yeah, I feel like both things are very similar, but just different in their own way. Like yesterday, we did like moving while shooting, use 2 different weapons, and like with the shield as well. Versus basic training, it's more like you only learn how to use one weapon, how to engage with that weapon, and it's more stationary, like shooting on the prone, on the kneeling, or like just standing. Like it's pretty basic, I guess. And we do learn how to use like how to train like with the gas mask if there's like a gas situation. Like you have to learn how to put the mask on in like 9 seconds, or like if there's like incoming fire or like artillery or stuff, we learn how like what to do in that situation, or drones as well. Like just in case like the drones have like grenades or anything, or like for them not to detect you.
You said drone with a grenade, and then Sal's eyes lit up over there. He's like, I want one of those.
They would tell us stories like, yeah, like people now they're using drones and like connecting them with grenades, and if the drone spots you, like you're done. Like,
Toast, yeah.
you're already done.
You're cooked, as the kids say.
Yeah. And just medical stuff, like just basic stuff like that. It was, yeah. Yesterday was more, I feel like, tactical and like in those situations.
Yeah, no, for sure. What was the most challenging part from yesterday?
I feel like the shield, because I'm very small and like I'm not built for like carrying like a 25-pound shield and like shooting a weapon also. And like it was also, I wasn't trained to use like a pistol or anything like that, so that was kind of a little new to me.
We'll talk to your father about that. You should have been training you a long time ago.
God damn it.
God bless it.
One job.
One job, STL. One job.
We've
Yeah.
gone to a range a couple of times, but not like that.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Yeah, we get a lot of, not a lot, but we do get some people from the military, and then we tell them we're going to the range, and they're stoked, they're pumped, and then we're like, what are we gonna shoot? And we're like, handguns, and they're like, oh yeah, nope, we don't shoot handguns in the military. So, but I mean, it's good for us, for me and TL, because then they're basically fresh, right? I mean, show them from the start, they don't have no bad habits, things like that. But it tends to be a little bit difficult. But yeah, if you throw an AR in their hand, like they're golden, they're good. They know what to do with that weapon system.
You guys want to talk a little bit about the onboarding process, like who you guys do an academy, right? And
Yes.
do people have to try out for that, or how does that work to get onto the S.O.R.T team?
Monte, you want to take it?
They don't have to. They can't have any kind of disciplinary actions within a year. Right? They have to have at least a year at the facility, and they have to pass a physical exam. They have to do a mile in under 12 minutes. How many push-ups is it?
15.
15 push-ups in under a minute, and 15 sit-ups in under a minute, and drag a dummy from one end of the training facility to the other.
Which seems easy, right? Seems easy, right? It's like false sense of fucking hope.
Yeah.
Come out here, fucking get it done. Look, oh, this is easy. Gonna be a fucking walk in the park. Nah, it's a fucking lie.
And we tell them
They kill you.
this is just an entry level PT. Make sure you guys are continuing PT, do PT. It's gonna get harder as you go through the process. It's gonna get even harder. So continue to do PT. And no one really listens. So
Yeah.
they find out the hard way.
Yeah.
And so like the physical part is a portion of it, but what do you guys look for as far as like mentality? Like what separates someone from that?
Well, it's definitely the mental toughness part. Somebody that's mentally tough. I think to be a tactical operator, and especially in this facility or in this team, you got to be able to problem solve, and you got to be able to separate. Like, think about it. Everybody here has their family. Everybody here has their life, right? So you got to be able to try to separate these two different worlds, right? So the operators that come out here, man, you could have all the skills in the world, be physically fit, but you have to be able to process information, freaking come up with a solution right away. You got to be able to use weapon systems, man. I think the main thing you have to have is mental toughness and heart. If you have that, we can work on everything else, But without that, you can't do shit with you. And I think that's what separates people. I've seen people here. I'll use myself. I'm not the most physically fit specimen, but I will refuse to fucking quit. You know what I mean? I died every day when I went through training. Wanted to fucking quit every goddamn day. I still want to quit now. But
Story time.
but I said there,
Send it.
I refuse to freaking quit. You know what I mean?
story.
I refuse to quit.
Our training is pretty tough. Like it's we've had people that have been in the military go through this training and they're like, damn, like we didn't even go through this in the military. Like you guys are crazy. And it's a crazy job, like we have to teach these guys how to deal with a lot of situations and think on the fly. We teach you guys how to be this decision makers, And when we went to this training, was it 7 years ago?
7 years.
7 years ago? Man, we all died. We all died together. These guys right here on this table, we all bled, we all cried, we all died together.
Literally.
And then,
You guys shower together too?
Literally.
we showered
We didn't have
together.
showers at the time.
They have showers.
So
Baby wipes.
I didn't know Elko before this training. Ortega. I didn't like Ortega because he came from Southern. But
Shout out to Southern.
so shout out to Southern. But now I love this guy. I love all these guys with all my heart. And then Willie went through his training. A lot of people say, like, if Willie can do it, I can do it. But once they try this training, they're like, damn, Willie is a tough dude. Because Willie, like, there was times we used to carpool. We used to drive home together, and there was times that Willie wanted to quit. I've had times that Willie. Can I tell Willie that you cried?
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. Let them know.
Willie is the toughest dude in the team, right? But that day he was crying like a little girl.
Defeated.
We're driving home, and he's like, "Dude, I can't do it." And then I just give him a little pep talk, and then kind of little motivation, and then with the help of baby Jesus, Willie came back. He died a few times on the field with us.
All the time.
All the time.
I would get in the car. And I would start praying. They'd be like, why is he talking to himself? I was praying because I was going to go to sleep and probably would never wake up again.
And then we had training in the classroom, and the classroom was a pretty warm area, and he was in the corner and huddled up in a little ball,
freezing.
saying, "It's cold in here, guys. I'm cold." And we're like, it's hot in here.
I was fucking dying. My body was giving up on me,
Yeah.
I was in shock for sure.
He's tough. I mean, each and one of us have something that we bring to the table. Commanders has all the experience. He's been through three teams, right? And he's been here forever. I think out of all of us, he's the one that has the most experience. He knows his shit. Okay, most of the time he just sits back and lets us do our thing. But when he gets in there and goes hands on, like, we're like, damn, this guy really knows his shit. Ortega's been in there forever. Like he really knows.
He's got the biceps.
Yes.
He's got the biceps too. Yeah, he's got the encouragement. Actually, doing that training one time, we were doing hostage rescue or active shooter. Right, we all died. The whole team died.
Yeah.
The whole team died. The instructors that came from Florida, shout out to Stevens and Chief. We all died. They were like, Commander, this is it. This is your team. Like, they all died. Like, what the hell is wrong with this team, We were all defeated. We're all fighting with each other. We're all angry at each other. We went to class for lunch, and we were just sitting there angry. And then Ortega, comes out here with his biceps, and he gave us a little pep talk, like that inspirational talk. And then, yeah, we came through, man. We came through.
He gives good talks. We're gonna have him doing. He's waiting to talk right now. He talks last all the time because it's a good talk.
Yeah.
He's like a closer. He's a closer.
He does that.
He's a closer.
That's why I give him that mic so he can do a mic drop at
Mic drop. Boom. Yeah, man. These guys did, man. They went through training, and it's not an easy feat, man. Like the PT test seems like cake, man. I got it. I'll do it. They came out. They tried out. It's crazy, man. If I find some pictures, I'll send them to you. But there was a shitload of people here, bro. When we first started, maybe we ended up with 25, but I'm sure there was at least 30, maybe.
There was like 30 of them.
30 people here. I remember they're running in the street. I'm like, holy shit, that looks like a platoon, bro. Like, that's a lot of heads. Like the last teams that we've had, there was seven. There was 7 on the last team. The team before that, there was maybe 10, maybe. And so
how many of those make it?
have made it still? They're still here?
Yeah, well, like out of like when you do like a new class or something, how many usually
It depends.
fall out throughout?
It depends. So we started with the 30. It wasn't. I think it maybe a little bit more, and we ended up with 25. 25 of these guys, and that's still a lot. That was a big team, man. I was in the last team, and I was team leader in the last team, and I had maybe like 3 guys under me, so that was manageable. You know what I mean? And so when I was tasked to put the team together, it was kind of a crazy thing. They were like, put the team together. We just want average Joes. Like, we don't want the top fit guys in the facility on the team, which maybe they'll end up still, because it's in them to come do it. They didn't want pretty guys, so none of us are pretty. So they didn't say that. I just threw that in there. But that's pretty good. It sounded good, huh? Well, anyways, they just said we just want the average officer that has passion to do something and be there for the facility to come in. I said, okay. So we did it, man. I asked Tio Ortega for some help because I'm like, man, like I've done these things on prior teams, but I've never been in command of a team. And it's when you think about it, it's a lot, man. Like I started to think, geez, like I'm gonna be responsible for like every single thing that happens, which I am, and it's okay, man. Like I have a good group, and not just a good group. Like as these guys are going through training the whole time, like Willie will tell you, these guys will tell you, like, well, we're going through training the whole time, bro. Commander didn't talk to none of us. Like he wouldn't be like, good job, guys, great job, keep it up. Nothing. Like I didn't do none of that. I didn't baby them like that. If you want to say, right. But this whole time that I was not talking to them, I was paying attention to everything that they were doing and what they were doing, who was going to them, how they were able to rally up people, how they were able to pick up people. And so right now, that's why these guys are my team leaders. Each one of them has something different, right? Your brother is 100% unapproachable.
Unapproachable.
110%.
110%.
110%.
We like to say that. But
So
anyways, everybody.
You're the about to power movie.
Yeah, he was in a power movie right there, right? That everybody has something in them, right? That's just a little joke we like to do about STL, right? But everybody has something in them, right? So I put them in those positions, right? Contrary to what everybody believes, that's why everybody in the facility says these guys are up here because they're my friends. And that's how they ended up in team leader roles. And that's why Willie's on the team, because there's no fucking way he could have passed that PT test. And I'm like, well, I didn't run it for him. I just stood here and kept the time and he passed it, but it's crazy, the things that some people say, but they all have some part in them that brings the leadership up top good, right? Mm-hmm. And like SL Lozano said earlier, there's times that I don't even go in there sometimes, man. These guys got it. Like, I don't worry about it. I don't sit there and worry about it. I don't have to stand there, make sure that they're doing everything correctly. Like, I don't, man. Like, I call them, they execute the mission, they take care of it, and then they'll report back to me. And that's a good feeling, man, that they're up to that level that they could take care of it without, the boss being there and making sure everything's good. I feel like if everybody since them tried out at the same time they did, and I don't think those people would be here, man. It was a totally different vibe. The company that came to train us is TOG US. They're based out of Florida, and it's Chief Sidney Lopez, and then he has a couple of guys. At the time, he had a
Shout out to Chief.
shout out to Chief. He had an intense instructor, Salceo, and team leader Salceo. Man, that guy was intense. While he was on these guys, like I'm pretty sure he wanted to fight Willie a few times, but he was intense, and it was great, man, because he pushed these guys like to a point where like at some point they were just even like, all right, like all right, we're here, I guess. Like somebody messed up and they'd be like, we're gonna do PT. Like it was just like, all right, let's go. Like they knew it was gonna happen, and like they just accepted it. You know what I mean? They're like, this is what it is. This is part of the team. And where I really knew that they were gonna shine and be together, there was a little story. Do I got time for a story? Guys, can I tell a story? I'm just talking the whole time anyways, huh?
It's good.
This whole time, right? This guy, man, he was really, really fast, really quick. He was good, man. He was excelling. And for some reason, bro, every time he would holster his weapon, he would leave it locked, the Glock locked back, and he would put it inside of his holster, right? Which means that it wasn't secured, right? Because it's locked back, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Reese telling him, bro, slow it the fuck down and like secure your shit right. Like if we drop something, like we're dead. You know what I mean? We're done. So sure as shit, man. Like I said, I'm listening to everything. I'm watching these guys. Is that boom? He finishes, puts his gun in, and like, hey, let's move this van. He jumps up in the van, bam, falls out of his holster, just goes rolling down the range. I'm like, sucks to suck, man. Like that's it. So man, we just start yelling. I start yelling at these guys. I'm like, bro, man. I start getting these guys. I said, get them on the berm. Have them go up and down. What about everybody else? I'm gonna have these guys pick up those freaking big old telephone logs, man. They just had it up over their heads. They're just holding it up. This guy keeps running up and down, up and down. I just start fucking around on my phone like I don't really care. I did care. I was checking the weather forecast to see if it was bad or not, right? But anyways, he kept going, and I'm like, bro, at some point, like these guys are gonna say, fuck that dude, man. Like this dude, we already told him. He didn't listen to us, and now we're freaking paying hard. Not really as hard as him, right? He was running berms, how well back and forth. It was hot as fuck, dude.
Those foam pillows are heavy as hell. We didn't even feel the pain because that dude was dying.
He was dying, but these guys are holding it up. So I thought I was at some point they're gonna be like, "Bro, I'm done." Like, or I was like, somebody's gonna be like, "I'm done. I'm not gonna hold this freaking pole up for this dude that keeps messing up, right?" And that's what I was waiting for one of them, even just want him to be like, "I'm done, bro. Like, I'm done. I'm out of here. I'm not gonna bleed. I'm not gonna freaking lose my arms. I'm not gonna freaking nothing for this guy that messed up. Like he's paying already. Like he's got it." But none of them did it, and they just kept saying, "Just keep going. Don't give up. Keep going. Keep going. Don't give up." And like I let him stop because he went over the berm and then he collapsed and like he fell. He didn't pass out. He was still, just so everybody knows,
Just stop breathing.
it wasn't a bad thing. Yeah, he tripped.
He had a pulse.
He had tripped. Yeah, he still had a pulse. And he was sweating. As I understand, that's good. Or you're still sweating, right? It's good. Anyways, he tripped and he fell down, face skidded on the floor. And I said, okay, good. That's enough. But right there, and it was kind of close to the end of training already. They went for 4 months straight. That's a long time. And right there, I was like, yeah, we're good now. Now we're a team. These guys stuck it in there and they held out. They motivated him on. They didn't let him just die. I'm sure they had some choice words with him afterwards, but hey, that's the way it goes, huh? That's the way love goes. But that's when I kind of knew, like, these guys are good. They're ready. They're a team in this part. They're a team now. Now we got to focus on tactics and everything else.
I see like a lot of like brotherhood with you guys. Like you guys obviously work together all the time. Is that part of like what you want to build during the training, or does that come with that, or does it just when does that sense of community and brotherhood build?
That's something that I think it just comes natural, honestly. Because like I said, we're out there bleeding, sweating, crying together, right? And with time working together so much, it just comes naturally. We build this bond. We build this bond, this brotherhood. I can say, like, I'll die for each and one of these guys here on this table, honestly. We all have something to bring to the table. We're not the fittest, like I'm sure there's people out there that can do better than us, or maybe not better than us, but they're fittest than us. But we all bring something to the table. I mean, we've had people on videos that they posted the training people that train us. They posted a video about us and training and stuff. People make fun of us and shit. Oh, the gravy seals, you know. But
I'm gonna remember that one.
we're the gravy seals.
Gravy seals. Yeah.
But at the end of the day, they don't know what we go through. Like it's all about up here. It's more mental than physical, honestly. People, like I said before, people judge, like they say like, oh, Willie can do it, but they don't know Willie's the heart of the team. Honestly, Willie's the heart of the team, and this guy has a lot of knowledge. He likes to take his own time and search things, read things. He's got a lot of knowledge. Reese is a workhorse, you know. He's got a lot of knowledge too. Reese is one of the team leaders that even on like on the floor, he's always putting in work. Always, every day. He's pushing people. He's always finding drugs. He's always finding weapons. This guy's always working, you know. Ortega has a lot of knowledge. Montelongo has a lot of knowledge. Like I said, we all bring something.
I feel like it's very similar to like the military because you're taught to be like, you guys are like one whole team. Like, if one person messes up, then
We all
you guys
mess up.
all mess
Definitely.
up and you all learn together. Like
Definitely.
it's very like
Yeah.
together.
I feel that we all knew each other at some point in time. Well, we all solidified when we went through the training because of that fact that we all bled, fought together.
Yeah.
We had to build each other up together. So that's what really solidified the brotherhood.
Yeah.
That's why we couldn't quit,
Yeah.
right? If I quit, if he quit, or anybody quit, right? We quit on our brothers, and it just wasn't gonna happen. So that's what made us tight. That's what made us the way we are. That's why we're tight like the way we are, you know. And we try to implement that on the guys that come in, right? It's you guys versus us, you know. And at first, you're not a team, right? Because it just happens, right? You can't make somebody want to join up, trust each other to become a team, right? But as you start dying there, as you start bleeding, you know what I mean? As your body's wanting to give up, you know, you're not going to let your brother down, your sister down. So, and we can't, right? We have an obligation, responsibility to that facility to take care of it. We're the last line of defense. There's nothing after us. We don't need nothing after us either, you know? That's the mindset we have to have.
Yeah.
Like Commander tells every day, we sign a contract with blood.
Well, they did. So
remember that.
you know, you seen they were so. Let me tell you guys what this is exactly what happened. They were so dog tired one day, and you seen 47 Ronin, right?
Yeah, with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they didn't. I pulled my knife out and I put it like that, and they all cut their thumb and they like on my scroll like they put their name in there. They were so tired. I don't think they knew what they were doing. I told them I was getting a DNA sample so I could get them the patches, you know, that said their blood type. They didn't even know what was going on, but it's a contract. They can't leave until I leave, you know.
I went and got blood, gave blood, and now they don't stop bugging me because I didn't even know my blood type.
Shout out to Valiant, or what's the company?
Yeah, Vitality.
Yeah.
Valiant.
I always get the freaking calls from them. They're like, hi, this is my talent. I'm like,
Yeah.
My blood is no good.
Yeah, it's just a little joke. I like to sound like you guys can't go anywhere until I go. You know what I mean? But yeah, they like the brotherhood. You know, it's tight with us here because we started it. You know, we're the start of the team, and like these guys say, like I have a lot of knowledge. You know, coming from prior teams and things that I've done on my own, other trainings that I've went to. But tactic wise,
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty. That's my virtual training. Like it's on point. It's on point. But they're the same level of training. We're all the same. Like we can operate and we can grab a weapon and we can go. Like I don't have to be like, okay, like Reese, what are we gonna do? Like I'm good. I'm just gonna see what he's doing. I'm gonna feed off of him. The same with Coronado. Same with all these guys. And I'll just grab a weapon system and go, right? The same for the new guys. The new guys will come in. They'll be in academy, which we might have one coming up in January if you're interested in to come back and check out the pain that they're gonna go through. Record a little bit of that. You're more than welcome to come back. But inside those small groups, they themselves bleed together, so they're tight when they start, right? So that's their little spot on the team until they start to branch out and then say we're part of this bigger team. So
Yeah, kind of like assimilate with the rest, and
yeah. So, but yeah, man, it's been good, man. It's been a good ride, bro, so far. Yeah.
So why do they say you're inapproachable?
I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
What's the thing? Okay, I want to know because, like, obviously, like, I grew up with this guy. I've known him my whole life. But I feel like I feel like it's a different side than what, like, work is work, you know? And
Yeah.
I feel like when he's at work, he, like, puff ups his chest more. And
yeah, people calling him sir. I was
sorry, I'm sorry, dude, that I kind of embarrassed you in front of everybody yesterday.
Nah, you're good. You're good, man.
Just kind of came out.
I don't know why. I don't think I'm unapproachable. I feel like
The first step is
Accepting it.
This is why we're here today. We're here today so you could realize that.
This is actually
Just let it out. No, let it out.
Is this what
it's
it is?
gonna be okay.
I don't remember why did we say that? There was one particular incident that happened, huh?
I think you just get in the zone, and if anybody messes up your zone, you answer back in a certain way, and then that's where you become unapproachable.
yeah.
I did see a different side of you yesterday when you guys were running, because both of you were running the drills, and you were like, you're putting stress on these people, right? On the officers, and like, you're telling them things, you're yelling at them, you're correcting them on the spot if they make a mistake, and it's just like, even when we did it, you guys took it easy on us, but I can see how that's like that sensory overload. But yeah, I saw a different side of you that I hadn't really ever seen, and I was like, oh shit, maybe
Well,
should put some respect on the name. You know?
just like they taught us, we got to learn how to change our hats. Okay. When I'm at home, I'm dad, right? I'm brother. But when I come to work, like I love my job. I love what I do. I have a passion for what I do. That's why I'm still here. I'm 43 years old and I'm still running with youngsters. I die, like I don't have that PT anymore, but I'm still there, But when I come to work, I love what I do and I take it very seriously. I take it very seriously, and I think that's important, especially in a tactical team, to have that, because I'm not here to be your best friend. I'm here to teach you a trait, to teach you a skill. I'm here to teach you how to survive. Because it's a real life situation. This is a real job. This is not just coming to work and having fun, shooting little toy guns and stuff, which people think that we always do. That people think that we just come to play, but no, this is a real job. And I take it very serious. And if the county trusts us and they invest so much money in us for this training, then I'm not gonna take advantage of that. I'm gonna be the best that I can, because they're trusting me with that. Commander's trusting me to be an STL. He trusted me to keep these guys in line, and then these guys trust me to have the knowledge to do it. And then they're gonna be I'm gonna be their leader, and then they're the leaders for them. Okay, so
Were you scared?
I got a little bit. I was like, damn, like it's crazy. I don't think I've ever. Yeah, it's just like it's weird to see that, because like you said, like, yeah, when you're at home, like, you're my brother, and like we always like joke around with each other, like we call each other dumbass or whatever,
Yeah.
Well, actually, I call you dumbass more. But it's always like we just joke around like that.
he doesn't know that I can take him out at any time.
Yeah. I'm all bark.
My dad mentioned he's like, I'm not dad here. He's like, I'm STL Lozano.
He's like, I'm daddy here.
That's why he's unapproachable.
See, when I was going through this training, and I'm sure these guys can relate with that. Alexa, I don't know if Alexa remembers when she was younger, and Ethan, when we come back from the store from whatever, I will go in there and I'll clear the house. I would clear the house with them, and then because this is something that we were going to train every day, so I would implement it at home.
Yeah.
Like, we go to the movies or whatever, like, hey, in case something happens, this is what we're gonna do.
You
Okay.
raid my room looking for drugs. I'm like, dude, they ain't shit here, bro.
I did. Just kidding. I shook down my brother's room, found some weed. But I mean, it's not just a job. I think it's a lifestyle. Honestly, it's a lifestyle, and then we try not to take this home, but sometimes we just can't avoid it. Like, it's with us the whole time. I'm always thinking, no matter where I go, even restaurants, anywhere I go, I sit in strategic places in the restaurant. I sit where I can see the door, where I can see people coming in. I never give my back, stuff like that.
What would you guys, some advice for the younger generation, people going into, I mean, not necessarily this field, but just like law enforcement in general, I think, even like advice you would give to someone like Chencha?
Ortega,
Put your app in.
It's your moment to shine, dude.
your moment.
I can say something. I used to work construction before I worked here. And the reason why I applied here is
Shout out to all the Pisces.
The reason why I applied here is a friend of mine told me, "Hey, you should apply here. It's nice. You're indoors. It's air conditioned. It's cool." And I started my career here. Um, I've enjoyed it. I've within the last about 7 years, when I started the team is when I grew the most. And I feel like this was not my first choice. I just did it because they were gonna pay me a little bit better, and I was gonna have better conditions. You know what I mean? And I've grown to love my job. I enjoy it. I love it every day. Every day I go come to work. As I promoted, it's been even easier the job, and it gets better. That's what I gotta say.
Yeah.
Try it out.
That was to say similar to the same. I didn't work here. I did a maintenance job in Mesilla down the way from here. That was a crazy job, and my brother started here at the same time that I started over there, and he was like, "Hey, you should have came over here." You know what I mean? Well, I said, "No, well, we're getting paid the same. Like, why do I want to go? Go to work in jail and be in jail like these guys?" And he's like, "No, it's not like that, man. Like, it's totally different." And so I worked over there for 3 years, and then he's like, "Bro, we got a raise," and I'm like, "I got a raise too, like 50-cent raise." I'm all fucking sick, right? And then I was, "How much raise did you get?" He's all, $3. We're making like $10 an hour. I was like, "Fuck, I'm out." I'm all, "I only got 50 cents." So I came here too, and I was the same as Tio Montelongo. I was like, man, I didn't know what to expect. I'm like, I don't even know if I'm gonna like this, but that's a lot of money, For now, I was like in my 20s. I'm all, that's a lot of cash, and I came, man, and I started working, and I was like, this is all right. I mean, it's not too bad, This the job's the same, our daily functions are the same, we do the same thing every day, but there's people here, man, and they all come from different walks, and they're unpredictable. So every day is different. We don't know what we're gonna expect, and I think to me, I think that's what's great about the day. Like right now, as we're talking, we could be chilling, and two of those guys could probably come to the door and be like, "Hey, we gotta go." Like there's stuff going on in the back, and then
I'll be like,
we gotta
"Wait,
go.
we're shooting a podcast.
Hold on, we're shooting, right?
Wait,
but
1 second.
But then we gotta go, and I mean that's our auxiliary job is the team, right? But nonetheless, that means something happened already, right? That interrupted daily functions of what we normally do, and to me, I think like that's like the best thing. It's not the same every day. Like you're not gonna get bored of what is going on because something always happens. You're always gonna run into somebody, and something. They're just normal people. You know what I mean? They made poor choices, obviously, but it might be a day you're gonna counsel somebody. You know what I mean? You're gonna give somebody dad advice because maybe they don't have a father. You know what I mean? Maybe you're gonna give them mother advice because they don't have a mother. You're gonna give you might help them out of a mental health crisis situation. What be it, man? You might just help them say, "Hey, this is how much money you need to get out of here," and they're like, "Holy crap! I didn't even know that I have that money myself. I could get out of here. That's cool. I'm out." You know what I mean? But it's always something different. Or we could have the days that T.L. Reese calls me and says, "Hey, they're writing, but we don't need you. I just wanted you to know." You know what I mean? It's an awesome part of my job. And I'm gonna say I've never been in any other law enforcement field, but I'm gonna say it's probably the same. I mean, their functions are probably the same all the time, but it's dealing with everything else, that makes the job that much interesting and fun, and makes people grow to love their job and want to come back every day. You know what I mean? I mean, everybody here in the table's been here over 10 years, right? Already, just working here. So that's good. Says something. It's a great place to stay. And we have a lot of people here, that they start out with us, and then they leave. They leave to, to the sheriff's office, to the Las Cruces Police Department, to the marshals, to border patrol, things like that. And sometimes we hear back, from their supervisors or that staff over there, and they say, "Hey, man, you guys had here people in the jail, like they left, and they're solid, man. They're squared away. Like they learned some skills with you guys. You know what I mean? And like they're solid over here with us." And me in particular, I'm sure Willie will get there one point, but I've been my role here is the training department. I've been in the training department a long time. Maybe there's a few years that I got moved out or I had to do some stuff, right? But me, that's a good feeling for me, man, for them to report and tell me, like, "Hey, like those people are solid, man. They learned some good stuff while they were with you, and they just transferred it over to our place, to our facility, man." That makes me feel good, bro, because that means we're doing something good here. You know what I mean?
What about you guys, TL Reese and Coronado? What is like a takeaway from the job, or maybe like some advice for the youth coming up?
I mean, I think, like I said, I started straight out of high school. I did like a semester in college, and like I need to make money. I saw the ad in the newspaper. That's back in the day. So I like filled out my paper application.
Chencha's like, what's that?
Right, a paper application. I drove over here. This is a pretty far drive. I used to live in El Paso, and yeah, I ended up getting called in, and it was something different that I never thought that I was like first time on the job, and you see a big old fight, and these guys are being like, oh, this happens here, like some crazy stuff, and you learn, you know, it's. I love what I do. I enjoy what I do, and a lot of people think that this is a stepping stone, man. You can make the career out of this, and it's what you want to make out of it. It's up to you, because this facility has so much stuff that they have to offer that other facilities don't have. We have the FTO program where you could train other officers. You could become a T4T to train new officers as well. We have certification for ALS, for TASER, being at the team. When STIE opens up, that's another thing that we have. Like, there's so many opportunities that they have. So it's either whether you want to do something or just stay average and just do that, which is, I mean, it's fine. We have the ones that don't want to do anything else. But the knowledge that you get is with getting more certs, getting into more things that we have to offer, and putting yourself out there are all those little things that help you move up. And man, I'm blessed for what I'm able to provide with my family with this job. And I did want to leave at some point, but man, like now I'm well invested where I'm at right now, and I'm not gonna go anywhere anymore. This is, especially this team, I think is what really motivated me to like not want to go anywhere else, and to be able to pass on the knowledge and all the stuff, all the training that we have to other officers, to the guys here in the team. It's awesome. That's what really motivates me. Getting these new guys, especially like these new guys when they make the team. Hey man, let's go do this, and I get them involved in a lot of things. I stay active over there. I can't stay still, and these guys are like, man, can't you just stay? I'm like, no, like I'm freaking back and forth everywhere. They see me all over. Hey, STL, I need the team. I need to get them over here. Hey, like, give me the authorization to get them. We're gonna find some contraband. Boom, yeah, go ahead. Boom, page them. Within 30 minutes, 45 minutes, we go, we execute. This is what we found. So boxing, fentanyl, whatever, weapons. And man, that's what like drives me. Like, yeah, this is awesome, and these guys get motivated, and it's what you want to make out of it. You could be disgruntled, be mad, like, oh, this sucks, but you have to look at the good things that would come out of this, and this training that we have to offer, man. I just went to SWAT school a couple of months ago, and to be able to know that I could keep up with these guys that are out there, this is what they're trained to do, this is primary duty, and for us to know what we're doing, like, even these guys are like, man, that's awesome, man. You guys are, doing something pretty good. For you guys to know, working in the correctional facility, to be able to know these tactics, man, it was cool.
It's awesome.
Oh yeah. You said advice to the youth, right?
Yeah.
Number one, for sure, know your master, whatever that is, right? When I put my faith first, I'm good to go. 2, have a little bit of dog in you in this soft-ass world. You have a little bit of dog in you, you'll be all right. 3, for sure, the decisions we make today can and will affect us tomorrow. You want a better life? Make good decisions, whatever that is, right? And last, man, the only thing we're never given is time. Don't waste it. Be happy. Do what you got to do with it, you know what I mean? But while you're here in this little bit of time, be happy. Find that peace, right? That's all I got.
Dude, I can listen to you talk all day, man.
So can we?
Do you want to call me right before I go to bed?
I'll read you a story, but
tuck me in, man.
And I think he's censored right now too.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. We weren't on the
Control
clock.
ourselves.
You almost made me cry right now.
Yeah.
It's the truth. It's the
like
truth.
for real.
It's the truth, man. I'm telling you, because when you put other things first, right? For the longest time, I put money first. What happened? Everything kept taking me back, steps behind. When I put the man upstairs first, made me start understanding my purpose, right? This is why I can't get to where I want to get to, because I keep putting money first, right? I understand now that I have nothing. I haven't had anything. The only thing I've had is here. So understand that the sky is blue. The world's gonna continue to sit there, keep moving, right? You understand that shit, and understand what it is, right? The cards that you're given, the cards that you're dealt. Don't question why you were dealt that hand. Make the best of that hand, right? That's what you got. And like I said, man, everybody's so focused today. I mean, not everybody, but like this world is so entitled. This world is so soft, man. So soft. Like from when I started coming up to, I can't imagine the people that are older than me, right? It's so soft, right? So this soft ass entitled world, man. You got a little bit of dog in you, a little bit of lion in you. Like you can go fucking far. You can go far. You dictate what you want to be at the end of the day. If you want to be a respected man, if you want to be somebody successful, then go make that happen, right? In some cases, there's obstacles that are in front of you, but no one here. At the end of the day, everybody has a choice to become what you want to become, right? If you want to be a successful person, go do it. Go be successful. If you want to find peace and tranquility in your world, create that. Make it happen. The only thing we don't got is time. Because when it's gone, it's gone. It can be taken from us like that today. So for sure, be happy.
Damn, that's deep. That's deep. Who wants to follow that?
Elko.
I think Elko's the only one that can.
Yeah.
I think my advice for someone coming into law enforcement would be just to continue to learn. You know, I think that's the biggest thing is we have a lot of bad guys out there, and they're always learning, trying to beat the system, you know, and I think us as officers, we have to continue to stay on top of that because they're always finding ways to figure out how to bring in contraband or break some type of law over here without getting in trouble. You know, making money the easy way, selling drugs. And us as law enforcement officers or correctional officers, detention officers, we need to stay on top of that. So soaking up all that education, a lot of officers go through their training process and they stop there. You know, it doesn't stop there. Every day is a learning system. You know, you need to go in there and try to figure out exactly how you can get better or how, at the very least, you can stay on top of what's going on. So I think that's a big deal right there. Just educating yourself, gaining that knowledge, and staying at least at the very least there with them, you know, so that you can continue to do your job the best way that you can. Because us, by doing our job, we're saving a lot of people, you know, saving lives, and I think that's one of the biggest thing right there is just continue to learn.
Definitely.
What about you, Lozano? What would you advise to your daughter that she's here? What advice would you give to her?
Listen to your dad.
That's unapproachable.
Unapproachable.
That explains it, right?
There you go.
Nice.
Just do what you're passionate about, pretty much. Don't get stuck in a job that you're gonna be miserable. You know, Johnny is a perfect example of it, right? Johnny had his job, full-time job, doing other things. You know, he went from getting a career in law enforcement or a degree in law enforcement, right? And then he went into whatever he was doing before, and he didn't believe that was his passion. And here we are now. You're doing what you love, and you're happy with that. So
Broke as hell, but yeah.
yeah,
God damn it.
I got you, bro.
Yeah. Daddy.
But my advice to the youth and to my daughter, I guess, is just find your passion. Find your passion. Whatever you do, you know, we're always here for you. We're always here to back you up with it. I'm not going to tell you to go do this. I'm not going to force you to do something that you don't want to do. I want you to do what you're happy with, what makes you happy. And that goes for you, your brother, you know, for all the youngsters out there.
Nice.
Drop your app.
Run up the clip.
Monde, you want to add anything? I don't know. Did I skip you? I think
Yeah.
I skipped you.
Power moved him.
Well, I pretty much said that the construction thing and everything. So in the same aspect as everybody else, My main goal in life was excel in construction, maybe become an architect, do something else. I ended up coming here, and I grew to love what I did here. And I just trying something out that I wanted to do, that I wanted to try out, and I ended up growing here more than I think I would have grew out there. So try something that you maybe think you might be interested in, and maybe that'll be your passion. And if it doesn't work out, you always have something else to do.
Yeah, that's been kind of like what I've been telling people now. Now that like when my brother was saying, I did go to school for criminal justice. I got my associates. I was a semester away from getting my bachelor's, and I dropped out of college for the same reason where like I was hating school. I hated showing up every day to school. I was working at like full time, and like I remember I got to I was going to NMSU. Shout out NMSU. Pew, 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 pew. Show.
Alexa's like,
Got my-
go minors.
the day that I dropped out of college, I showed up and I parked, and I remember like I parked and I sat there and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? And I was thinking like I don't want to, like I really didn't want to do this. Like I was just like I was over it, you know. I don't know if you guys have ever had that where you're just like done and you're fed up and you don't give a fuck about anything. And I was thinking like, nah, but I gotta like the first thing that came to mind is like I'm gonna disappoint my parents, you know, because like my mom, that was her thing, that she always wanted me to like graduate from college. And even like after I dropped out, she would always like we'd go to like a graduation, be like, Mira, that could have been you. And I was like, fuck. But later on, I understood that like I think if your parents like really care about you, if you're scared to disappoint, like don't. Because no matter what, like they're gonna support you. If they love you and they care about you, they're gonna support you. And I've seen that throughout my life. I see that now with my dad when I started with the podcast. At first, I kind of didn't want to tell him because like I'm like, for one, he's not gonna understand and he's gonna be like, that's fucking stupid. But no, he was excited. He was the first person that I ever, when I got my first recording system and I was testing it out, he was the first person that I recorded with. We sat down. And I set up like 2 microphones and we sat down at the table and we were like testing it. And he went on and I don't know if I ever showed you the recording, but he started doing like his own like radio. And then he went off to like tell stories and like he got like really into it. And he was, to me, that was like cool. Like he thinks this is cool. Like he's accepting of it. And he let us shoot at my house for a while. And like, yeah, like I would say, don't be scared to try. If you fail, you fail. If you don't, then you tried and you can go back to folding t-shirts. That's what I was doing. But yeah, that's some cool stuff. One last thing before we close out, guys. Yeah, I got kind of deep. I want to do have some fun. I want to talk about, you know, the movies always portray jails and prisons like a certain way. Do you guys, well, for one, do you guys have any favorite like movie scenes from any like or jail movie scenes? And then 2, what would be some of like the misconceptions and like the difference between what people are portrayed on movie and TV than real life?
I would have to say like it is crazy. People see a lot of Hollywood movies, you know what I mean? They're like, holy crap, you know. So I've personally, you know, told stories about Supermax, which is the max area where somebody gets in trouble. Mm-hmm. And within the facility, and they have to, you know, serve like a sanction for the bad things they did, right, inside the facility. So I've mentioned it before, you know, and people are like, oh, yeah, it's just that one cell with you know the one light bulb and the, you know, the wire, and there's like this tiny slot window like on Suicide Squad. I'm like, no, it's not like that at all. Like. It's not like that. It's crazy. You know, there's a large window in there. There's plenty of light in there to go on. Somebody, you know, has to go check on those guys periodically and stuff like that. So that's not what happens. But yeah, it's crazy how, you know, Hollywood will amp it up and be like, oh, this is what goes on. And maybe sometimes that's why we get a bad rap too. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, these guys, you know, this is what they do. Just like that movie, you know?
Usually the prison guards are like dicks or something.
Yeah, it's a total dicks. That's crazy.
Unapproachable.
Yeah, but I guess I would have to say that I've seen some prison movies, and I may think the one that is will catch my attention is Shot Caller. I don't know if you're familiar with that movie.
I don't think so.
But there's some things that happen on
movie.
that movie that are pretty true to probably what happens with individuals that end up in the wrong side, and they gotta survive. You know, they have to do what they have to do to survive.
Mhm.
Not that we condone that or anything, but that movie's pretty good, man, and it's pretty true to some of the things that probably somebody would go through. I mean, it gets a little intense, but it may get to that point. I don't know, but some things happen inside the facility that are bound to probably happen at some time if they make that a career for themselves.
For me, I know my wife. Shout out to Sally. She would want me to say Shawshank Redemption because that's like her favorite movie. But I think to me, it's The Green Mile. I guess that's probably like my favorite prison movie, jail movie. I want to be like Tom Hanks.
Rest in peace. What's his name? Michael Clark Duncan.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just like that role that Tom Hanks had in that movie. You know, like I know these guys say I'm unapproachable and stuff like that, but I think I'm a pretty fair CO, how they call it. You know, they call it COs. I think I am pretty fair with the inmates and stuff like that. We're not always like you say the assholes that the world thinks we are. You know, I know we're when it comes to like law enforcement, like people see us like the very bottom of law enforcement. You know, and I think we have that bad image, but I think with time, like we're trying to change that. Like COs are not the bad people people think we are, and that's why to me that example that Tom Hanks played in that movie, to me that's my favorite example.
I can't think of a movie exactly right now, but
Blood in, blood out.
usually they are amped up, over amped up what a jail looks like. Even like the show Jail, they just show the bad things that happen all the time, and the reality is about 60% of the time there's not really much going on. The facility function, and that's about it. And then mainly it's more like the officers and the staff having issues with stuff. That's mainly the main thing that we had to deal with. And other than that, it's like drama, and that's about it. That's
Mentioned it, like,
I can't think of anything. But just to touch base, like what Monty said, like most of the time things don't happen bad, right? People that are here aren't all bad people. There's a select few that are bad. They just chose that life, right? But most people just made a mistake, had a bad day, fell asleep behind the wheel, you know? Doesn't determine that they're bad. Even the people that have messed up bad, right? Doesn't make them bad, right? Just they fucking made a bad choice, you know? And most of the time, what they want you to view out there, see out there, is just the bad stuff, right? 'Cause that's what's going to sell. But most of the time, just normal people that made a mistake.
What about like your guys' favorite like jail food, like that the inmates have made or anything like that?
jail food. I do not touch the
Or
food.
like jail
Spread.
like,
Spread.
A tamal, they call it tamal.
Yeah, we make-
I've seen them make menudo as well.
yeah.
It looks I mean it's all nutritious food, you know what I mean, but it doesn't look appealing, like to be like I'm gonna slam that Salisbury steak, like you know, like if I'd rather just be hungry for the whole 12 hours and go home and, you know, tear up a pizza or something. But I mean, it's all nutrition based, you know what I mean? It just doesn't look the best, you know what I mean?
There was something we were talking about the other day, Sal. We were talking. I was thinking of like, you know, prison stuff. One of the things like dropping the soap was one of the things that came to mind for some reason. As I was picking up the soap, I'm like, huh. You know, there's always that like thing when you think about prison. They always say like, don't drop the soap. You know. The other thing we were talking about was that sagging the pants, right? You guys know anything about how sagging the pants originated or the story behind that?
I think Coronado knows.
Well, you know,
Because Sal gave me a version. I don't know how true it is, but let's see what you guys.
What was his version?
So, what was your version, Sal?
So what I saw was basically they sag their pants to show that
They're taken, right?
open.
Yeah, they're open for
For business.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
For insertion.
That's what I took. No,
For insertion?
not gonna say all that, but
I'm not gonna say.
yeah, that's the same version I heard
Ruben.
too.
Yeah.
right? Like I'm basically willing and accepting if you're down. You know, if that's what they do, I have no idea. You know what I mean?
And that's how it originated. And then later on, like when they would get out of jail, like the gangsters or cholos or whatever, they would, because they were just used to it. And then I guess somebody thought it was cool and it caught on. But that's what. That's the sign.
That's crazy.
Is there like a certain like weapon that's like how the heck do they make that, or like
You catch a bunch of stuff that these guys make. These guys get creative. Like, basic one is a sharpened spoon. They just start sharpening it up. That's one of the basics that we kind of find all the time. Nothing too crazy with that, but then they get more creative where we have the trays that where we feed them with. They'll keep them. Those started with the stream, just putting them out. They get a little piece, and with that piece, then they start making a weapon. So what these guys have gotten pieces of metal that they found, stuff that we have at the facility, and when we're not watching, they break it off, and then little by little, they start sharpening it up. These guys, they get creative with any little thing that they find, any mistakes any equipment that does get left behind that they get access to, then they try to make whatever they can out of it.
You know, one of the interesting things that I saw is on Naked and Afraid. They used to watch that all the time, right? And I guess they learned to get there's a broomstick, and it has a hole on the top, right, where the broom screws into, and the top was rounded. So they started moving the broomstick on top of that so they can make fire. And they were burning up the broomsticks a lot with that, and they were causing fire. And that they got that because they were watching Naked and Afraid. And
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty.
That's
They're pretty creative. Some of these guys. I would say probably the weapons that they fabricate are dangerous, but I would probably have to say the probably one of the scariest one is a razor blade, and that's something that they receive twice a week, you know. And if we're not on top of our job, that's us potentially handing them something like that. You know what I mean? So you could see like these guys will be hard on their guys. Like, make sure you guys check those razors, make sure everything's right. You pick them all up, things like that, because that's something that they don't have to make, right? They just got to pull it out of the little razor blade slot there, and then they have a weapon, you know. Most of them try to obtain one of those, and it's not really for us or anybody in particular. Like, they just want to make cool stuff, like arts and crafts. Like, they want to cut up chip bags and make flowers or carve soap and stuff like that. But nonetheless, man, that's an item in there that can cause some harm to us or anybody or even the other detainees, you know. A little different here, you know. The jail, they're most of them are pre-adjudicated, so they haven't been sentenced to anything per se. They still have to go through the court proceedings before they get sentenced and then end up going to a prison. So I would say I've not worked in a prison myself. Lieutenant Ortega has. He might have some crazy stories about things that actually happen over there. But here, for the most part, like dropping the soap, things like that. Like, these guys are really in particular about. There's two people in the shower, right, guys, and everybody else is away from those areas, like the other detainees, and like inside there, I guess they make their own rules, their own politics. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if we're eating, nobody go use the toilet, and if somebody does, you know, they I guess they take care of it on their own. Like, we don't condone things like that. You know, they make their own rules within their dorms. You know what I mean? And the same for the showers. Like, well, I'm showering at this time, so Montelongo better not be in there showering, or he's toast. Like, no way, like, he'll beat me up. You know what I mean? But and if the rules said that, you know what I mean? But yeah, so maybe it's different, or LT Ortega, I don't know. Maybe you can shine some light on that.
That's a lot different. It's a lot more individuals that are sitting there for a lengthy amount of time, so they find ways to do things that you never thought they would be able to do, such as weapons. You know, like, I've seen individuals get assaulted with caliche rocks. You know, like, who would use a caliche rock? But let me let you know, it was effective. You know, it actually did the job. But yeah, here I would look at spoons, sharpened spoons, and I would laugh at that. Here down the road, we started seeing some real ones that you actually see in the prison setting, you know, which is some kind of a metal rod sharpened at the end with a handle at the end, and those are scary. Those are scary because we don't want to have to go through something of that sort. It's pretty rough to go through something where someone loses their life because of one of these weapons, and that's where our job is so critical, is because we're supposed to go out there and find these things before they actually find a spot to puncture. So it's a little bit different, but I've been seeing, again, with the knowledge part that I mentioned earlier, is you just got to keep on top of it. It's starting to be introduced into the jail setting, and it's unfortunate, but that makes our job a lot harder because we are responsible for the safety of these individuals. So we have to go out there and find them before they find their target. But yeah, it's a little bit crazier.
We've had some crazy situations, especially like in booking. There's been a couple of times that we found, well, twice to be specific, guns. The arresting officer, I guess, he didn't catch it, and we've caught it. Good thing, luckily, we've caught it during the booking process. And when they're changing out, we found a couple of guns before. I've had inmates hand me knives themselves when they're getting booked. Here, sir, they didn't search me or whatever. They missed it, and they hand me a knife, like a butterfly knife, and I'm like, whoa. So,
damn, that's crazy. All right, guys. Well, we're about to wrap up here. Before we do, is there any final words you guys want to say? You want to plug your Twitch stream or anything like that?
Wig Splitter 257 on Twitch. Drop it. I'll be on there. Call of Duty Warzone, hit me up. Destiny 2 all day. We have a couple of tokens for you guys, a couple of challenge coins for you guys. So if Sal, if you can come in camera view, that would be cool, man. So we could hand you this challenge coin. Well, we appreciate you guys coming through. These are challenge coins that the team put together. We give these to our guys once they complete training and special events. So that's our little helmet, our logo there, and has our sword thing in the back right there. So
hell yeah, this is cool. Yeah, thank you guys. Really, really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And like I said yesterday after we did the training, man, like mad respects to all of you guys and all the other guys that aren't here as well. Big respect to you guys because it's not anybody that can do this job. So thank you. I'm gonna sleep with this tonight.
Right after Willie calls you.
Yeah, I was like, Willie,
bro,
read my bedtime.
I could already hear it. So Johnny, what you wearing, baby boy?
It gets worse than when he gets tired.
Yeah,
Starts to mumble a lot.
Let's get bad. Hey, but for real, thank you for having us on your podcast. It means a lot, bro. You guys coming out, training with us, man. Hopefully we can do it again, even if it's not on the clock, time on the side. You know what I mean? It was fun. Appreciate it.
And I got a little something before, they told you that I'm the closer, you know what I mean? So I think my time has come. I'm not big on spotlight. I know yesterday when you guys doing your camera and your videos and all that, I kind of stay away from that. I'm a little shy, I'm not too big on voluntary spotlight. But I did want to take advantage of this spotlight right now. I've been doing this for a very long time. I've been doing this I'm going on 24 years, and 22 of it has been with a tactical team, whether it was in the prison setting or here in the jail, jumping on board with these young gentlemen, It's been an honor with everything that I've done with them, being part of these trainings that cause tears, sweat, and blood. And I wouldn't pick anybody else to do it, but with these fine gentlemen around here.
Well,
Ride the lightning.
that being said, we're gonna wrap up this podcast, and we had agreed already, man, before this to get tased. So if you're gonna get tased, we'll get tased with you.
that's what's up.
We'll be a blood out. So pop up the clip. That's it for this pod, guys. I want to thank you guys so much. This has been a really cool experience the last 2 days, and even today, man. Getting to know you guys a bit more on a deeper level. To my brother, you finally made it to the pod, man. This is gonna be your one and only episode, so hope you enjoyed it.
You do that.
Yeah. There you go. We can't hear. But no, like, thank you guys. Thanks for setting this up, man. I'm, just hope I am really proud of you, and I'll try not to call you dumbass as much now. You earned some respect, so
Mad respect.
mad respect. So Chencha,
That-
are you ready?
Yep.
Oh shit!
Nice.
All right, guys, that wraps up this episode. Thanks everybody, and thank you guys. Shout out Sal, and
you, guys.
let's fucking do this then.
Let's do
Thank
it.
you, guys.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.